He is now a sensation to many. Nigel C. Watson, known as NCW the comedian, is a proud product out of Diego Martin. He's a man with a story of a journey driven on community service and a passion for comedy. It has been only 3 years since NCW has taken comedy as a mainstay. A father of 3, his life is devoted to assisting at-risk youths through music and sport. He says the country knows NCW as a comedian, but that too was a calling from within his passion. His comedic catalogue touches on real-life experiences and just the typical trending topics that we see daily on social media. NCW's passion has turned into reality, and now he stands alongside the great comedians in Trinidad and Tobago, with a national debut on a local comedy cast. But for him, his real passion is to serve his community, but with jokes as the side dish. We in Trinidad and Tobago have easily grown fond of him.
Alright, so today we are here in Diego Martin. This is what, River Estate?
Yep.
River Estate. The water wheel is behind us. We are in a bit of a scenic location. But today we are talking to Nigel Watts, better known as
NCW.
NCW. I mean, we are here, and this scene is actually what he has chosen. He's been a soil of Diego Martin, and especially this area. You know, we are just going to share the story of not just comedy, but share the story of what NCW stands for and what he has done in this community for many years, and what he has contributed not just in the art form of comedy, but in the art, about in the sector of community work. Hey Nigel, it's a pleasure to have you on InspireTT this season. So a lot of people see our videos on social media, and it's a laughter. It's so, but tell me, where did NCW start from, and where did the inspiration start from?
Well, NCW is basically my name.
Yes.
Nigel Casey Watson, that's just the initial. I wanted to keep my name a big, a part of what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, where NCW really started with was a dream, from a young fella, as Martin Luther said, It was a dream, and I was a dreamer in a way that I dream with my eyes open. Mm-hmm. So I envision myself and where I want to be in the future.
True.
So my first passion was really helping people and trying to make a difference in my community. Comedy was there, but I was more interested in what I can do to help others. Because growing up, I gravitated to the elders in my community, and I learned a lot. So it's only natural to try to return that favor when I see it was lacking in my community.
So tell me something. A lot of us know the comedy, but as you delve into what you have done before, I mean, tell me, this Diego Martin, how is that area this area stands to you, and especially the community work that we understand that you have done, not just through comedy, but through actually physical community work in the area.
This area means a lot to me. This is my area, this is my home, this is my love, the Panyard right behind us. I grew up there. Most of what you're seeing now comes from what I learned from elders. And, the water wheel on this side, cocoa, coffee, we grew up amongst all these things. And the Panyard to me, under the leadership of Ronald Crow-Huggins, I must mention him because that's my mentor who teach me a lot. I grew up seeing him, and fighting with us, and I always want to know what driving this man to just keep doing this over and over. We go in Panorama, we ain't making it, and every year he coming back with the same energy. And I say, you know what? I had to take something from that book. That kind of way?
Yes.
So when I become an adult now, I started to take over, and I went house to house. My street is Waterwheel Road. House to house to families where I see have children, and I ask their permission for their children to come to the Panyard, not just to learn pan. Because when I brought them to the Panyard, I realized there's a serious breakdown with discipline. There's a serious breakdown with normal etiquette, how to care about yourself. So I had to teach them that first. And that's where it really started for me as being a community activist or a aspiring leader. You grow up seeing Mr. Pro, and then you come now and I arranging and I doing music on the state side. Did a lot of nice little songs, and it felt good to know that I was growing, and although I was growing, I was helping Wiser growing.
Sure.
But that was always my vision.
So NCW, tell me about football. I know sports has also been a crucial part in part of the community work you have done in the area.
So football now, I was always intrigued with football. I love it. Like you love something, but you just can't do it.
Yeah.
So I could play football to save my life. You put me in the post, that's the best I could do. But I love the game.
Yeah.
So I say, you know what? Not because I can't play, that will hamper me from being a part of it.
True.
So I say, you know what? I'm going to go into the management side of it. Learn the management side.
Yeah.
And my good childhood friend, Odell Carrington, he's a football player. And I went to him and we get together some of the best footballers in the area, and we start doing five-a-side small goal competition all over. Successful.
Yeah.
I sponsoring the jerseys, water, transport, because I used to work taxi for a number of years.
Yeah.
I didn't out of my pocket.
Wow.
Yeah. I printed jerseys, everything. From there now, minor league, 12-a-side. Every area, I don't know if you know them days, every area used to bring a side.
Yes, of course.
Bring a side. Went to the Northern Savannah, which is now the Diego Martin Sporting Complex.
Yes.
And was really good. We never won. Then Westman Sports Club, they have an RBC league. And get together some youths again. They have different age categories. And we went in that competition. Went in the first year, I think we came in the first 5. Did some work, come again, 2017. We lick up everything. Most goal again, manager of the year. It was like a moment, coming from the small goal into the minor leagues and then the RBC tournament. It was really good. And that day, it was like, not everybody liked Pan.
Sure.
So it was an opportunity for me now to mentor youths in a different field.
Sure.
So it was like spreading my wings. And if it's one thing I learned about that whole experience is that don't let nothing stop you, I'm not a footballer, but yet still I love the game, and I use whatever knowledge I have to be a part of it.
Of course.
And I think that is what some people need to do. Don't just, I can't do that. No. Find a way to be involved, because there are people behind the scenes in everything.
Definitely. So let's take a short break here and let you know that you can share this content to your personal page, to groups, and like, comment. Go to the InspireTT Facebook page, click the like button, and also go to our YouTube page and subscribe so you can see more content from InspireTT. So coming back with NCW here, NCW, tell me something. So where did the inspiration come to start moving from community work and into comedy? Because I think that the people in Diego Martin would know you for your human service to community.
Right.
But when it comes to the online aspect, social media with NCW, the comedian, the Oshimps,
Mad thing.
Man, tell me, where did that inspiration, come into? Because I've seen hundreds of your videos which are also time sensitive and situation and topic driven.
Right. So I love comedy. One of my passions was comedy alongside music. So it started in school, being the class clown, of course, making everybody laugh, and at the same time being the drummer when man chanted in class. So it was always side by side. So growing up watching people like Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac, I was more influenced with the American style comedy because it's some more reality based.
Sure.
So my stand-up is more like that with local content, where that I tell more stories rather than traditional Trinidad, tell me a joke. So my stand-up is more based on everyday thing, current affairs, and stuff that we live. When it really hit me is in the barber shop. You know, on a Friday in the barber shop.
Yeah.
I would just talk and make people laugh, but for some reason I noticed people listening, like they just stopping and they're listening to me. And the owner of the barber shop, Jayud Geshad, I don't know if you know him. He was really instrumental in motivating me too. He said, you know, Nigel, you have a gift, you know. So what is that boy? He said, you have a gift to make people listen. He said, all kind of people is come in this barber shop. But when you stand up to talk, everybody's be like this. He said, you know what? You should follow that dream. And 3 years ago, you know, I sit down and I say, Nigel, now is the time. So I just put it on pause while I do my community work and stuff, because I kind of force right now. Meet my wife young, 17, she's 16. Make children, I just study house and build, so it's not time for laughter and comedy. I could do it in a little line now and again, but to take it serious, I couldn't, because I turned to mine. Yes,
I could understand.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So it's only 3 years ago now I say, you know what, I went to my wife. I realized that although I'm doing all these different things, I'm not where I really want to be financially. And you know, I really big on leaving a legacy for my children.
Amen.
And you know, after I talk to myself, because I talk to myself a lot, right? Hence the reason one of my hashtags is what yourself telling yourself, right?
Yeah, of course.
And you know, myself to myself, Nigel, this is the time. Social media, is it now? Use it.
Sure.
Use it. Use it in a positive way to build yourself. And as I told my wife, you know, I told her what I was going to do. She wasn't full 100, you know, because I didn't really expect her. It's my dream.
Sure.
And I would be a little more passionate. But I understand. I understand her at that point. But you know what? I spoke to myself and I said, Nigel, do it. And one night, 3 years ago, I did 2 videos, experimenting, went and sleep, wake up in the morning. I seen people liking and commenting.
Yes, wow.
I said, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Seed was planted.
A seed was planted. And obviously I have to go through the ranks and keep making videos, but I try to stay relevant on whatever happening in the news.
Yes.
And use, you know, my earlier material was more stuff that happening in the home and wife and drama that everybody can relate to,
correct,
you know, that kind of way. And when I realized people loving it, every year I try to do something different. So I incorporate now my arranging skills from the panyard to the videos.
Yes.
Where that I start to tell a story with the emojis, with the background music,
Yes.
with captions. So while I'm talking, these other things just coming in and making the video into a 1 minute production.
Yes. but now NCW, 3 years in, I mean, you're now on, I think your first debut with Comedy Festival.
Yes.
I know that.
I did 2 shows.
How was that?
That was, wow. That was like a dream come true. Because, you know, I used to go to all the comedy shows and sit down and I used to be like, when will I be on that stage? You know, talking to myself, you know, I kept my dreams private, you know, and I didn't really speak it out loud to anyone. I always tell myself, you know, I'm NCW biggest fan, me. You must believe in yourself first. And I always tell myself when I go to these shows, I say, I am going to be on that stage one day. And when Mr. Glasgow called me, you know, I act normal and thinking, but when he hung up, I was like, oh my God, I tell my wife, I said, Gil, Mr. Glasgow called me. And you know, I did, obviously he was watching me for a while.
Yeah.
I did the first show in Aparima Bowl in South, it's really good. Then I did Napa a week ago. was really good, and we have other shows coming up. My first time on stage live was actually in a club in Arima called The Hive, and the same barber, Shayud Gishad, is who gave me that opportunity to go on stage for the first time, and I killed it. You understand?
Of course, I can imagine.
So you see how everything just come back into play, and you know, we live our life and we meet people and we have friendships, but we never know where the future take us.
True.
And some of these same people is come back to help you with your dream. So it's important to live good and always leave lasting memories with people.
Definitely taking that tip from NCW. So we are here in River State. Behind me, the water will be at the River State Museum. In outdoor, you know, enjoying the cool air, the atmosphere is really amazing. A lot of nature around us. And so we are going to definitely, you know, go into the next segment where we're going to have Michael, you know, show you some of the scenic areas here in River State, and also go to the Panyard that NCW so loves, that would have cherished and molded him into who he is today that we see on social media. So, guys, that's my part here for today.
Third child from a family of 5. Unfortunately, I was the ugliest one. You believe that? Yes. I was the child that looked like nobody. You ever see that family, that one child who looked like nobody? Well, that was me. So my whole life this thing bothered me. So when I become an adult, I asked my father, I said, listen, why it is I don't look like nobody in the family? And why I so ugly? And immediately he was like, you know, it's your mother's fault. I said, well, when mean it's mommy's fault? He said, yes, it's she. I said, Daddy, explain. He said, when she made the child and she called me, I went in the hospital for she. And just as we walk in out the hospital with the child messed down himself. And then she told me to go back inside and change the child. So what you telling me? The woman sent you to change the child, you exchange me? So you telling me all this time I in the wrong family? You could imagine how ugly my real family is? Oh shit, my thing.
Move fast here, boy, make your bugs. We cross on the corner. Alright, Nigel, what are we walking to here?
Well, this is the water wheel, River Estate water wheel. A lot of history here. You know, I grew up here, we play here, we climb here. The youths now, they play football here.
This is a football ground?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you know.
And how old do you think this water wheel?
Well, this water wheel is approximately about, I can say about 100 years, because it's like 1810 was the year this water wheel was built. So give and take 100 years.
I'm seeing from the sign they use it to crush sugar.
Yes. So what happened, the history is a river used to actually pass through the water wheel, powering it to crush the cane.
As somebody who grew up in this community and you having historical artifacts like this in the community, what does that give you a sense of pride?
Of course, you know, I worked taxi for a number of years and I did tours, and I always bring people to my neighborhood as like a extra, you know, a trump card, because we have the Blue Basin waterfall not too far from where I live.
Yeah.
So all that is part of the history. So I always take pride in bringing people where I live, and you know, and by showing them, well, I live in a historical area and there's a lot of history, and I feel good showing them it, you know, showing them the water wheel, the museum, the Blue Basin waterfall. It's a joy to be from River State.
Just 1 second, Nigel. If you're liking the content here on InspireTT, share that video at the bottom of the screen. Go over to the Facebook page. There might be content that you didn't see before that you could look at and see new and interesting content here on InspireTT. Nigel, do you think the community is doing enough to protect heritage sites like this?
No, it's not. You know, it hurts me. Even today, coming to do this, I'm going to say the youths, they play football here, but they should not be playing football here.
Yeah.
There's a Savannah, Patna, not too far from here.
Yeah.
There's also the new complex.
The new complex, the new sporting complex.
Sporting complex. But lack of proper communication, proper funding towards youth development in this area is why this happening here. Nobody is taking up the mantle to actually take these youths and carry them in the proper facilities, clothe them the proper way, influence them in the proper way. So I don't think enough resources is being put in this community when it comes to sports and culture. And I can say that without conviction because I am on the ground.
So you're an influencer in the community and now you're a social media influencer. Why did you go to the social media aspect now and start providing content for social media?
Well, it was all a plan, which is working very, very good so far. You see, I understand that I needed to reach more people.
Yeah.
You understand? I check where I am and I say, you know, there's a platform where I can use free and it can open me up to a lot of new things. And I decided, you know, I always had the comedy, so I say, let me use it. But obviously, you know, Trinidadians, I had to bring the bacchanal, I had to bring the drama first. Yes, in order to get them, because trust me, if I just go with what I want, I would not have the amount of followers I have now, and that's just the facts.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from? So I give them the bacchanal, I give them the Ray, and now 3 years in, a year now, I start to bring in all the positivity and all the messages that I really want them to hear. When I have them looking at me now.
Yeah.
When they see his face come up and they have to press
play. Yeah.
I have them. So now I using it now to showcase what I really want to promote, which is family, positivity, you know, to inspire other people, to help the community and all these different things. So it was all a plan. It was all a plan.
And going into that aspect of inspiration, we here on InspireTT, you have the public at large attention now. There was a big movement happening in tandem with COVID-19, the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
There may be some young men out there who are watching the video. You have their attention now. What do you tell them to influence them?
Well, firstly, I would tell them to believe in yourself. Be your biggest fan. You know, believe in yourself first. It's okay, public opinion will always differ. Don't spend too much energy on that. Right? That's number one. Number two, I would say to always try to be positive. Don't matter what is the outcome. You fail, go again. Be positive. Don't just be negative and say, because I'm not doing that again, I don't know. Nothing happen just so. It's all a struggle, it's a journey, you know? You know? Then I would say, respect the universe. I'm big on that.
Okay.
Don't litter.
Okay.
Don't kill everything you see. Once you respect the universe, you respect the creator. And that's the last one. Respect the creator.
It's important to have that connection with your community, with your God.
It's a package.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And once you have that package, the rest is history.
What you would like to see for your community?
I would like to see more private companies or the private sector in the whole Digger Martin area. From the whole of Factory Road, we have an industrial estate there. We have a lot of businesses on the main road. I want them to get a little more involved in this community.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of talented youths in Digger Martin. And lack of support and sponsorship is a serious problem. Few people in Digger Martin is actually step up. They still have the old-fashioned politics kind of, you know, what them go do for we, you know.
Yeah.
We need the private sector to step up and try and tap into the people like myself who are already doing the work and come and help us.
All right, Nigel, what next we going to?
We're going to the Panatix Steel Orchestra, where I grew up.
Okay.
Where most of my history and where I learn a lot of stuff about life.
In the Panton?
In the Panton.
All right, guys, let's go. You know, and now, what NCW stand for?
Oh, it's actually not churchworthy. Just kidding, just kidding. Nigel Casey Watson.
Okay, Nigel.
Yeah.
You said the patent
Yes.
is a big part of who you are. Sadly, it's locked down, just like how Trinidad was, or is. What's the condition of the patent now?
Well, we face a lot of struggle even before COVID-19.
Yeah,
You know, as a small band in this country, the struggle is real.
yeah.
You know, sponsorship, lack of support from the community at large, and many other different, you know, financial problems. But we try to keep it going still, you know. But COVID-19 come and, you know, the Pandian more or less just, I should say, take a rest.
As a young man in the community and with other young men in the community, this space, what you could call, will describe this space for you?
Well, this space is hope, because it was hope to me. I was riding my bike at a young age, heard this distinctive song of the steel band, and I stopped.
Yeah.
And something compelled me to swing in. And I swing in and I never swing out. Besides the 3 years rest I took to pursue NCW and the comedy, you know, career that I'm pursuing right now.
So you're a man that wear different hats.
Yes.
You play the pan. You're into comedy.
Yes.
What else do NCW?
I also do welding
Okay.
and auto mechanics.
Okay.
Most of these racks, this rack, many of the other rack, the rhythm rack, I build most of these things from scratch.
Wow.
I learned that in school from junior sec, thanks to Mr. Duke. And then I went on to YTEP, achieved my papers in welding, and then I did mechanics from a child. Come up from my father having an old car, learning about mechanics, and where I currently work, you know, I manage the fleet of vehicles. So that is like my permanent job.
So are you in agreement? They say a community, it takes a community to raise a child. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, I'm in full agreement with that. You know, we have shy away from that now, but we need to get back there. Because the community make me, and I also made a lot of youths in this community frame, you know, give them the right frame of mind towards life. As I tell you, a lot of children come up in the Spaniard. Only because of COVID-19 and the other struggles, you know, the Spaniard is like this now.
Yeah, it's sad to see it this way.
It's very sad.
Very sad, wow.
You know?
So this is normally an active community space, yes?
Normally very active, very active. I have all the youths in my street, they grow up in the Spaniard.
What are the benefits to young people getting involved in something like this, like a pan site or playing music?
There are a lot of benefits because there's a lot of opportunities. You know, we travel the country playing pan all over, people notice you. You know, you learn communication skills, you learn how to communicate with other children. We even teach basic music courses. I run courses here in the past, Easter, basic music theory, you know, for the younger ones. There's a lot of benefits, you know, for those who want it.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I struggle with here is the community, the people right or wrong, they wasn't involved.
Okay.
You know, that kind of way. We need more people from this area to be involved. But you know, people have this mentality, if we get a sponsor in the morning and they see nice thing and this, they come.
Yeah.
But we have to shy away from that. We need people to come in the building stages too and try and help us lift off the ground.
And on that note, Nigel, if you're watching this video, help us at InspireTT build our community, build our tribe, build our content. Trinidad, there's a lot of different conversations that are happening. Everybody has a unique story to tell, and we are trying to help you tell that story here on InspireTT. If you look at the bottom page, you see an email address. If you have a unique story that you want to tell, hit us an email and we'll get back to you and tell your story too as well. Nigel, it's good to see that you're very active in your community. My final thoughts. What does it take for someone, because I know off camera you're telling me you were shy growing up, to reach that stage that you break from being shy and actually having a voice and influence in the wider public now? What did it take mentally?
It take a lot, because firstly, you know, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed academically. So I had to find other ways to make it more or less, for lack of a better word. You know, because, you know, we have this narrative now, if you have X passes and this degree, you can't be anybody.
Yeah.
And that is wrong. That narrative is wrong. I mean, say, if you have the brain side, go for it.
Yeah.
But we also have room in this world for all types of people with all different types of skill. You understand? So it takes a lot for me to overcome what is the norm, to break barriers, to reach a different level with what I had to work with. You understand? And when I look back on it, I say, Nigel, you know, you did well. You did well with what the cards that you was dealt with.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I'm still building as as I grow, as my brand grow. But it took a lot, because I struggle with anxiety and being nervous. But performing with the pan side at different locations, all that helped me.
And build your character.
Build my character.
Build your performance.
Exactly.
Build your presence online too as well.
The whole thing was a journey preparing me for where I'm heading now.
Okay.
Because I ain't reached nowhere yet. It's still a building stage.
Yeah.
You understand? So it took a lot.
And as a dad, as somebody who's involved with the young people in your own community, what is the legacy? This is my final question. What is the legacy you're trying to build or leave?
Well, legacy is that, you know, that is like the best question, because I have 3 boys.
Yeah.
And when I'm gone, I want them to be proud about their father and the work that he have done in the community, online. I want them to walk with their shoulders high, knowing that their father did something to impact the world. So that legacy I want is just for everybody to be motivated. When they hear my story, and when I leave this earth, they must look at my story and be motivated to do good, to be positive. Just how I was motivated by all the elders. And funny, you wouldn't believe, one of the movies that was instrumental in motivating me was a movie with Gandhi. You know the movie Gandhi?
Yes.
I watched that movie at a young age. And I observed how he's so passionate about helping people, and there's nothing financially to gain or no kind of recognition, no fame about it. That was nothing, nowhere close on his mind. But he was motivated to keep helping, and trying to make a difference, and trying to unite the 2 religions. And that movie, and I watched that movie probably when I was 12 or something like that. And that stuck with me, that resilience to help. So that is the legacy I want to leave, where that man was someone who will cut off his nose and swore the face of somebody.
And with that, NCW, I'd like to say thank you for coming here on InspireTT. I know this was a serious side of NCW, of Nigel, but it's very important to understand what's in the mindset. He uses his comedy to be able to influence others and to get his personal message out there. Similar to what we're trying to do here on InspireTT, we're trying to tell those unique stories. We're trying to plant seeds in the young people to kind of grow and to be the change in society. Be that change, start with your own self, your own mindset, so that we can see a better Trinidad and Tobago in the future. Once again, Nigel, I want to say thank you for coming here on InspireTT. Thanks for giving us this little mini tour of Diego Martin. I learned about the history, and I learned that there are people in different communities who are really trying to make a genuine difference. Thank you for joining us here on InspireTT. Please join us again next time. Take care for us.